Ay, caramba, the Lord has blessed us. Can you believe we're here?
Dude.
I can't believe I'm here. I'll keep it real.
Yeah.
You were a little more sane, but you were definitely you weren't. If we're gonna keep, you were a loose cannon of your own style. You were
You know,
I,
I
I wouldn't say loose cannon. You were a targeted missile. Because you were very stealth-like. Like you had Desi moved in a way that was much more discreet in all things. Much more. I was obviously I'm loud, I'm boisterous.
yeah.
So, but you were a targeted missile. You were an assassin, bro. Whether it
Dude,
was on the
I
football field, whether it was with the opposite sex back in the day, whether whether it was with his schoolwork or his
you need to
studies.
chill out right now.
We're gonna keep it PG as we can for the viewers.
No, there's no way. Dude, I tell this story a lot. Do you remember when we were looking for a
Uh-oh.
house together and we were literally visiting one of the houses, and then after like the second showing, it was me and your brother and you. And after the second showing, out of nowhere, I was like, "Hey, I actually don't want to move in with you guys."
Was it the house on River?
You was the
Up
house
on
on
top.
yeah.
You know what's
It
so
was the
funny?
house on River,
Oh
and
my.
you would have thought
Oh.
I killed your guys' puppy or something.
It broke my heart.
You both were so hurt
It
with
bro-
me, but like to be honest, bro, like I was at a point in my life, having watched my dad struggle like most of his
Ooh.
life, having watched my best friends at the time, like we weren't all doing good,
No. What do you?
and
God,
I
no.
like just in general, health, mental health, like drug abuse, like everything.
Every aspect.
And like it just so happened that it was just one of those moments for me. I'm about to lose my scholarship, get kicked out of school. And it was literally a moment where I was like, I need to take responsibility for my life. And I have to be okay right now with the turmoil that's about to happen with my friend group to let them know that I no longer want to go down this path,
Uh, oh
which
man,
which
a
sucks
hard reckoning, right?
because we spent a lot of time together
Every day. What do you mean?
every freaking
There
day.
wasn't a moment.
Never.
I mean, not a day, not a full day that went by that we weren't together.
Together all the
No.
time. And so like I had to be good with being okay with the disappointment and the shame of like I'm letting my people
Mhm.
down. But I think when you and I reconnected, I actually really appreciated how empathic you were because we lost touch for quite some time,
Yes.
came back because a friend of ours had passed away from drug abuse. And just talking, I was like, hey, it wasn't personal, dude. Like, it was just one of those things where I just had to move on because I knew what was at stake.
Yeah, and that's something. And like I told you then, my answer to you was I don't fault you. You know, I told
Yeah.
another one of our friends that recently, not too long ago, Bilo. Like I don't necessarily fault you guys for seeing the destruction, the path that I was on. Right, I
Yeah.
was a dope boy bringing duffel bags into our house, bro. And you guys, I
Bro.
thought you guys didn't know, right? I thought I was slick, bro. I thought I was so smart, and you were the one that had the most discernment.
Yeah.
And you were always the one, if we're going to keep it real, like I tell you, and I told you before we got on, and before I even do the intro, is I'm a Christian man, but this is not a Christian podcast in essence, right? We're going to
Yeah.
talk about the truth, the raw, the reality of life. And I want the viewers I want them to know that it feels like they're sitting in space and they understand
Yeah.
exactly because people go through struggles in life. And so I want to keep it real. I sugarcoated it for so long.
Yeah.
That's why my testimony is called Masks. Right, I put on so many different masks, and I was sugarcoating it with so many things of this world that I have my beliefs, but I love all people, no matter where they're at, what they believe in. I just love people.
Yeah.
I'm a people person. I love people. You know that about me. That's why, we connect because you're a people person.
Yeah.
You're a person who genuinely loves people, at the core of it. So I always put that disclaimer out. We're not here to sway people's opinions one way or the other. We're just here to keep it raw, keep
Yeah.
it real.
Yeah.
Transparent. I've learned that transparency, right? And I tell people all the time, the strongest I've ever been is in my vulnerabilities.
Mm-hmm.
And me keeping it, you know what? I'm going to stop keeping it funky with everybody else. I'm going to keep it real with myself.
Yeah.
And when I can keep it real with me, I can keep it real with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a hard thing. I tell you what do you want to know?
Yeah.
I've already kept it real with myself all this
Yeah.
time. So that's what this space is. It's allowing those who view it to understand, like, hey, we've been through some of those same types of situations, and you know, whether they're where we're at or beyond, or, you know, want to get to where you're at, let's say, they have a guide, a roadmap to say, okay.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, I really want to target those who are lost and those who are wayward and the youth that are headed down the stupidity that we, right, all the roads we traveled, that let's cancel a few of those roads off for them and help them out. So we keep it raw. We keep it real. And that's what we do.
Dude, this is actually really dope. You know, before we get into like the meat of the conversation,
right.
Shout out to you. This was an idea of yours maybe a year ago.
It's been,
because you hit me up. You were like, "Hey,
yes.
How do I start a podcast?"
Yes.
And like I think I've recorded like over 250. So I look at it as like anyone who steps into the podcast family. Like I really, really want to usher in and invite, because this platform in itself, any of us who are doing it, I think I want to say less than 10% of people end up recording past episode 10. And I think I told you this.
Yes.
Like there's a crazy number of people who do it and then just stop. But the fact that I'm your fourth, right?
You're my fourth, yes, sir.
Dude, you're almost there right now.
Yeah, we're almost halfway there.
This is really dope. I actually really love this setup too.
It's you know, shout out to Yen Trung from Proper Villains and Collabs, along with Biznected, and he's got, I don't know, half a dozen ideas and businesses, and he's an awesome dude who makes this possible. So I'll shout him out.
Yeah.
Yen, you're the man. Love you, bro. Davina, you guys are awesome.
I love this.
You guys have Dezi's approval. Dezi, you know how tech unsavvy I am. Can you help me turn on my phone so where it doesn't shut off right away? So I can. So before we
screensaver you,
I just need to get like so it doesn't click off in a minute.
You might just have to go like bar for bar right now, dude.
We could do that.
I actually don't want you to have notes. Just shut up and let's go. That's why when you asked, like, hey, I need you to send me your life story, I was like, bro, are you kidding me right now?
Cool,
you already know my life story.
Hansel.
So I told you,
oh my God,
my car blew up like 2 weeks ago. Like on the way, I mean, I was celebrating Anthony's birthday. Shout out my brother Anthony.
Oh, I love him, Anthony.
But my car blew up from college, pretty much like in the middle of Phoenix, and so I had to get a new car. But the car that I got, my kids actually chose the color, and it's a bright blue.
I love it, actually.
And at the time, I looked at it, I was like, that's really bright. And so my kids were pumped about it. But the more that I've been doing it, Anthony's wife, Mariah, shout out to you, she was like, no. This car's name is Blue Steel.
Hold on.
So I was literally, before I got here, while I was waiting for you to answer the phone, was looking up car decals of the... So I'm glad you mentioned that, because it is, in fact, the car's name is Blue Steel.
Oh, if you guys, those of you who know Desadario, a.k.a. Dezi Abeyta, he names all of his cars. So he had the Spectre at one point.
The Spectre.
The Spectre.
Betty White.
Betty White.
Betty White just died, man.
What?
Dude, R.I.P., yeah.
Man, she was a good car, though.
She was a good car.
So, yeah, Dezi's, he's one of the most, I would say, Dezi was my friend. Dezi is, I would say, maybe my second or third longest living friend, and that's a sad thing to say. But when I stop and think about it, outside of my two brothers, Ray and Zach, and you know, the passing of TJ, rest in peace to
Dude,
Terrence.
God
you
dang
know,
it, Terrence.
You know,
man.
TJ.
What's up, buddy?
We love you, bro, and he shines his face. You know, he's our cloud of witness, and the reason that one of the reasons I started doing what I'm doing in life was because I had to.
I think I did it. You're gonna have to look.
Okay, so because So because, you know, the unfortunate passing of TJ and what I tell people, the hardest pill I ever had to swallow was, you know, my involvement in such thing. And it took me down a dark path. But that's just, you know, we know that many of you that I feel that many of the viewers that will watch the type of podcast we do have experienced loss.
Facts.
And it's almost, I hate to say this, but I got to keep it real. It's almost, you can't find I mean, within every 4 to 5 families, addiction. I think it's 1 in every 4 household, addiction is prevalent. So, and with the drugs of today's world, they're so dangerous and they're so deadly that of those 1 in 4, I'd say, you know, 1 in every 16 has had a death-related. I just found out a friend of mine from middle school that another friend of mine always reaches out and says, hey, so-and-so's on the streets. I know you do a ministry in the streets. If you see him, just tell him I love him. I said, of course. I love the dude. Just found out he was brutally murdered, Ajo and Mission, last night. You know, she sent me a thing as I was out showing some houses today, too.
Bro, I saw someone from high school that we were connected with. I mean, I'll preserve their name. I honestly don't remember their name. But I saw them, and I was like, gosh, dang it. I think anyone who makes it out truly has something special. Not to say that people that don't, but like the people that make it out and do the type of work, I think are just so special.
And I love that you just touched on that, because I believe everybody has that special. We're all special,
yeah,
right? Because there's no two of you. I tell people all the time when I'm out ministering and loving on people, you know how I know you're special and you're loved? Because I could not scour the entire world and find another one of you.
Yeah.
That thinks like you, that talks like you, that acts like you, that wants to dream like you dream, right? So that's how I know you're special to your Creator.
Yeah.
Is because He didn't make 100 of you. He made one of you, right? And it's just remembering that we all have it in us. There's one thing that separates those who haven't made it out and those who have. And when I keep it so real, because I've been through it. You know, I went through 25 years of it.
Yeah.
Is a choice. If I'm gonna be so honest, and it's a choice. It breaks down to that. Are you comfortable with the person you sit down with? And is that the person you want to continue to be? And if you're not, which I'm not even where I'm at in life, right? I always want to keep evolving and getting better, but then you have to make a change.
Yeah.
Period. My brother Ray used to tell me, I'd be like, Ray, I just made a mistake. I got high again. No, you didn't make a mistake. You made a decision. You made an active and willing decision to pick up the phone, to call the dude, to meet the dude, to take the money out. You made all these decisions. It's not a mistake at that anymore. You made a willing decision. So we all have a choice, and I was in rehab with a dude who's like, I'm leaving, and he was one of my good friends. And I said to him in front of the BHTs and everything, I said, homie, you talk all kinds about, you know, your righteousness and the things that you're about, but yet when push comes to shove, you're about to run, homie. Reach down, grab your nuts. I told him to just grab your nuts. Do you have a pair? I said, I don't care if it's big, small, I don't care. That don't make no never mind to me. Do you have some nuts in between your legs? Then reach down and grab them, and it's time to man up. Right, and that's where I was at. Yeah, I was, that's the message I was preaching to myself, homie. What are you gonna do, bro?
Bro, there's no one more honest than an addict in recovery.
No, it's like a kid or a belligerent drunk.
There's no one more exactly. There's no one more honest than an addict who is finding recovery. And facts on the kid, bro. Like you see my Michael Jordan hoop earring, and like when I first started sporting it again, my daughter was like, you look like a pirate. It's like, bro, get out of here.
You're not eating dinner. How funny is that?
It's like, your style you got from me. Thank you very much.
Everything you know is because of the DNA.
You're cool because of me.
Period.
But yeah, man, I honestly, I thought about you the other day. I don't know. I forgot I want to say it's on Netflix or Hulu. It's Matthew Broderick. I want to say the series is called Pills, and it goes over the oxycodone epidemic and the way it came out. Did you watch it?
No, actually.
All right, so you got some homework.
I need to watch it.
You got some homework. But I would say yes, there is a personal accountability, but there's also systems and people who are making a ton of money that prey on very vulnerable communities. And if you look at our community in general, I look at you who got impacted. I look at family members who have been impacted, best friends who have been impacted. And when I look at it, it's like they prey on very vulnerable communities and systems. So, like, yes, there's some personal accountability too, but this is where I think collectively,
systematically,
I think collectively as a community, like how you vote, the people that you hang out with, the people that you hold accountable, systems that you hold accountable, like we all have a play in this. So
we do.
So you got some homework. And,
all right, I'm gonna watch it.
I watched it and I was like, dude, this is. My mom and I actually watched it.
Oh, shout out to Stephanie,
dude. Shout out to Stephanie.
Are you serious? She is. Steph, I know you'll watch this because you're just what I call in my life are the loyal lions and lionesses.
Yeah.
Those who are just there to support me through the thick, through the thin, through the ugly, through the beautiful.
Yeah.
And Steph's one of them.
Yeah.
No matter when I've seen her, she's never held judgment against me. She knew she was Steph's a discerning woman.
Yeah, I think she knew for
All of us, honestly,
Yeah.
and that's we don't say Steph out of disrespect. It's Mrs. Abeyta. What is she?
Yeah.
I always call her Mrs. Abeyta.
Yeah.
We love her, and having people like that are such a monumental key in life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, shout out to Steph. We had to get that over with. Let's jump into this, guys. We are now live. If you've been with us and tuned in, we love you guys. We appreciate you. I'm Ryan Collins, and this is a place where real people share real stories of pain, struggle, healing, and transformation. No masks, no filters, just truth. Because what you've been through doesn't have to define you. It can refine you. And no matter how broken the road behind you may seem, redemption is still possible. Today, we sit down with one of my longest and closest friends, Dezi, a.k.a. Dezi Abeyta. And as we dive into what I know are issues of, for so many, this isn't just something that, because my kind of caption, my motto for the podcast is everyone has a story and someone needs to hear yours. Because people need to, know they're not alone. They need to see, okay, if I'm traveling this broken road and I see someone who has also traveled this, because you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
We don't have to be geniuses here. If I was to open a burger joint, I'm not going to try to figure out how to do it from scratch. I'm going to go ask the most successful burger joints how they did it.
Yeah.
I just jumped into real estate. I had meetings with, and I'm still having meetings with successful real estate agents to figure out how they did it. I'm not going to try to reinvent something. What's the point?
Yeah.
Ask those who have done it. So this is an area and a platform for those who, have been through some life, as I call it, right? You said, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about life, right? Life is we're not going to sugarcoat it. We're not going to play, we need to be in your living room being your choice or your cup of tea.
Yeah.
We're going to keep it real.
Yeah.
And somebody's going to identify with it. And I know as soon as I asked you those questions, and Dezi, like I said, he's one of my longest friends in life, and we've been through some craziness together. Like you wouldn't believe, just him and I could write a book together. Literally just
It's chaotic.
Chapter after chapter, like we could bounce back, like and I texted him and said, hey, can you, just as I do with all the guests, can you give me a short synopsis or a bullet point of your life, did these things? And he said, in what world do you not know my life story? ... LOL. And I think I just verbatim quoted that.
Yeah.
See what happens when you get sober, you can remember things. Like I know my name and I know where I'm at.
Yeah, it's crazy when you're like present with like feelings in the world. It's
What
like,
the
oh my
heck?
God, I can function.
Oh,
Like,
and I could smile and I have joy,
Yeah.
and right, there was a
Yeah.
time that things were so dark that I didn't, right, that didn't seem possible. So as we talk about identity, right, and pressure, performance, addiction, whether it be through family members, through loved ones, through those that you had to see, and we talk about then diving into the healing and creativity, which is now, I think, and I'm willing to jump out on a ledge and say that the artist in you, the artiste, right?
Yeah.
You had to dig into some of those times of pain and trial and adversity, right? So in order to dive into those things, I just want to give people a kind of a roadmap of where you've been and where you're at now. And my whole thing is, my life goal is to instill hope, bring encouragement. So I want somebody that I know is going to resonate with you, just to hear because I know your life story.
Yeah.
When you sent that to me, I was like, I looked at my wife, and shout out to my wife, Christy.
Hey.
Hey. And I said, I read her your response, and she laughed because I said, he's so right. I didn't need it, but I do like to have it because I could get in here with you for 10 days, and then we'll have both of our wives knocking at the door, looking at locations, like, what are these dudes doing? So let's dive into it and let's walk this road together.
Yeah.
All right. So, Dezi, when you zoom out and you look at your life's whole story up until now, what's the biggest theme that stands out for you that's been, whether it's been a reoccurring theme or just that one thing that you can say, hey, this is why I'm where I'm at today?
Yeah. Man, I don't know. Like, it's hard You know, anytime you jump on a podcast, like people want to know, like, tell us about you, and like you're supposed to come up with this like elevator pitch, and like each and every time I've jumped on one, I'm like, man, this whole elevator pitch piece changes because I'm just like too ADHD, too like out there to
Outside
like
the box.
yeah, outside the box to be able to be like, okay, well, this is it. So in this context, you know, I'm the oldest of 5, right? I got 3 younger brothers and a sister. They're like absolute light in my life. I mean, they're the people who taught.
They're amazing.
Yeah, they're the people who taught me how to be like a leader.
Wow.
In a healthy way,
Right?
growing up, because like that was my first shot at parenting. And my wife and I will oftentimes like joke about this, you know, in the best of ways. Like she's very much like type A, like likes to have things planned out, likes to do
organized,
organized research on like parenting and things like that. And she'll ask me like, what's the plan here from a parenting perspective? And I would just pull on like all the shit that I did with my like younger siblings. You know what I mean? Like my youngest brother Nico, shout out to him. He's a professional athlete now. He'll send me shit that we see online, and I remember when he was just playing football. I mean, this kid is at the time like maybe 6 or 7. We went to Purple Heart Park.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Put your pads on. We're gonna level you to show you that if you can take a hit from us, you can take a hit from anyone.
I remember this story.
You know what I mean? So like I look on like things like that, and like now fast forward, I feel like leadership has been one of my truest gifts just across my life.
I would agree.
Yeah. And now I look at it, having 2 kids, like honestly being able to unlearn a lot of what I learned on the parenting side. And listen, like, shout out to both my parents. Like, I feel like they are both beautiful people that have had to unlearn a lot of what they've learned in their life. Exactly.
Right.
And they're not perfect, and that's okay. And I love them for it.
Absolutely.
And I love them through it. And I think the type of father that I want to become and still am becoming is someone who can heal a lot of the pieces of my childhood.
The brokenness.
Through parenting. So if you're asking, like, what's the roadmap or whatever, like I now am in a place where I have a 10-year-old who absolutely loves athletics, loves moving her body, but loves art. And I have this 3-year-old boy who is turning 4 soon, who is completely unhinged. But I see him, and I feel like he is all the pieces that I wasn't allowed to be growing up.
Yep.
Because I had to step into a leadership role, or I had to encounter a level of trauma and the things that I saw that I couldn't be childlike. You know what I mean? And I look at it now and I'm like, bro, I'm literally in a space right now where I'm just trying to be a healthy role model for my kids.
Amen.
And if that shows out in ways where it can inspire others, or they see me doing like certain things or dope things, or like, dude, like, what are you up to? It's like, I don't know, man. I'm really just trying to like heal my inner child at this point.
I take a pause for that one because I don't think that. Actually, I'm willing to jump out on the diving board ledge here and say that 9 out of 10 homes were not taught about healing and about childhood trauma and what your trauma is versus mine, and it's yours is yours and mine is mine.
Yeah.
Right. But I tell everybody, you know, I've been into the prisons and ministered. I've been into jail, never thank God, because of my brother Ray. He took the charges for me, if we're going to keep it real.
Dude.
On a big case. I've never been to prison, but I've been ministering to these dudes, and I tell people I've looked stone cold killers in the eye and told them, guess what? Underneath all that, there's a little boy inside who's hurting.
Yeah.
Because guess what? True. I'm going to tell you, you know why? Because what we used to say in the streets, real recognize real. Broken recognize broken, bro. If I see pain. I had a boy tell me one time in rehab, he said, bro, your eyes have pain in them. I can see the pain in your eyes. He said, the only reason I can see it because I know some pain. And he's I can't measure yours. He's like, but so it's one of those things where we all have an inner child. If we were just taught or at this point now just learn, because we have to learn because we're adults, and how to help heal that inner child, because everything, I believe, I've said it on all 3 episodes before this, and I say this routinely, everything we are now stems from who we were. Yeah. Period. I don't care how you look at it. I don't care how you try to 10 ways to Sunday, try to remap it. The way you are, the person you are, the triggers and the traumas you have in certain seasons of life come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? So I love the fact that you touched on healing the inner child, because as men especially, we're taught, toughen up, man up. Don't worry about just don't talk about it. Put it down there.
Yeah.
Just move on. And I feel like that's the absolute opposite of how we should be being taught.
Yeah.
I feel like a true man can say, you know what, I tell my kids all the time, a real man cries.
Yeah.
I just broke down in my wife's bosom 2 nights ago, and just said, babe, my body's broken. Like, I've been broken, and now my spirit's healed, but now I'm dealing with the broken body.
Yeah.
And it's important I tell my kids, my boys especially, a man can cry, a man can feel. The world wants to teach you different, but your father, who is one of the strongest men you'll find, that's as far as adversity in life and obstacles in life, is telling you a man can cry, because we weren't taught that.
Yeah.
You know, and I know both your parents, and you know both mine.
Yeah.
And you have I love both of them had played monumental roles in my life. I lived with your father at one point.
Yeah.
You know, your mother was, I tell her every time I see her, she's an angel. Yeah. I tell you when I talk about her, I feel like she's literally one of those people that's just angelic.
She's dope as hell.
And so, you know, it's just knowing that, you know, my dad used to say this quote, I'm only doing with the best that I was taught.
Yeah.
And my dad's dad walked out on them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's one of those, when we give them grace, right? We bestow the grace upon them because we've been given grace in our own lives, right?
Yeah.
So it's knowing that you know, it shaped you into the man you are, and the man I am.
It's kind of hard, man. Like, I try not to like judge people's parenting, but I will say what makes it really hard, especially for like the dads sometimes that I observe, are like when their kids are crying, especially the boys. Like, there's this like trend of, and not everyone is doing it, but I still see it. There is this trend, like, if you fall down and hurt yourself, it's like, stop crying. Like, you're good. And
I'm still guilty of it because
like
I was conditioned of it.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Like,
I need to change it.
I think overall, like, there is a true power and vulnerability to, like, and mind you, I am learning this as a parent. Like, shout out to like the schools that we've been through, because a lot of the teachers that I've had have given me language on how to become a better parent. So it's literally getting down right at their level.
Bobcat Nation, bro. I'm gonna shout out. You know, I was there. Yeah, bro. Shout out to Cienega. You know,
dude,
I loved our high school. I can honestly say that I wouldn't have chosen a different group of friends.
Yeah.
Because you guys, I was wild, and you were so.
You really were.
You were so not wild in the aspects that I was. You were wild in your own aspects.
Yeah.
That you helped balance me out, and you're one of those friends that I'm like, I probably would have been.
Dude, I really have. When people are like, high school is like, or was just so traumatic, and I'm like, I don't.
What?
Yeah.
Some of the best years of my life.
I don't feel that, because I'm like, dude, I honestly felt really lucky that, I don't know, I had friend groups or experiences where it was just like, I don't know, like, this is kind of cool. But then, like, I kind of look back and, like, I can understand how it wasn't for a lot of people. I never want to be part of someone's story as to, like, why they hated high school or just life in general.
I had to make amends at one point.
I've
done that. So real quick, for any high schooler that might come across this episode,
be kind and don't be a dick.
Man, straight up. That's first and foremost.
That's
right?
What'll come back to
you. Want to make friends? Well, then be kind, right? Stop being a jerk to everybody. But if you're feeling like you're struggling, because I know that's a you know, that whole I got 2 kids. Well, I got 6, but I have 2 that are going into one.
You have more than 2.
Yeah. I have 1 in high school, 1 out of high school, 2 that are pre-high school age right now, and it's that hormonal. Pubescent. How do you say pubescent?
Yeah.
Pubescent area season of your life that you're trying to figure out who you are, where you stand in the world, knowing that you're going to be in the world yourself soon. So, I encourage you to dive into an extracurricular activity. There's, especially these days, there's something for everybody. So if finding friends or finding feeling like you fit in is a struggle for you, we made friends because we played ball.
Yeah.
Right? Now, we would have been friends regardless, but that's how we found our friend group was. So find whatever you're interested in, whether it's arts, music, dance. There's so many things to get involved in. Get involved in something, and then you'll start to see, oh, this is a lot funner than if I was, is funner a word? A lot more fun? Hey, funner's a word now.
Funner's a word now.
I said it.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, it's like find something.
Yeah.
Right? Dive into something, a group
Go
of.
create.
Yes.
Go create. Yeah. I do really, truly think about expression differently now, where like whether it is like in your fitness or in your writing, I think obviously we're doing content right now, content creation. Like I always feel like that is like the purest form of like God, just like creating.
Well, he made us to create.
Yeah. It's like just creating. Yeah.
He made us to create. That's plain and simple. You can't, I'm going to not get canceled here. Procreation involves certain things, right? Certain elements, and then creation from procreation is diving down that tunnel of, I'm not going to put a boundary on, how did this headphone or this microphone get invented, right? It's because people said, you know what, there has to be a way to do something.
Yeah.
So just telling people, I love that. Create something. And find an area, a group that you can fit into, so that way you feel. Because I know I can think back, like high school would have been a lot different if I didn't have a friend group.
Yeah.
And you and I were those.
Or an outlet.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Right. But you and I were those. I was a jock. You were a jock. But we were those dudes that were cool with everybody.
Yeah.
Like we had a crazy eccentric friend group, you know what I mean, and we were just cool with everybody. I had a couple people I'm sure that I pissed off and offended, and I've reached out to some people that I was young, right? We were adolescents and we could be ignorant at times. So me as a man now, I have actually reached out to a couple people,
really, and
said like, hey bro, like, sorry if I was a jerk.
Yeah.
I forgive me.
Yeah.
And left it at that. You know what I mean? But just be kind to people, like Dezi said. Find somewhere to fit in and dive into it and create. Make something.
Yeah.
Make memories. Create memories. Create a history for you to look back on. I mean, I look back on my high school and I'm like, dude, it was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was some of the best years of my life was, playing ball with y'all and going to practice and waking up again, doing it in the morning, and then going to a party, and then, being out in the middle of the desert doing some day drinking. Like, we were young, stupid kids, and we had fun doing it. So
it was so bad.
It was what molded us, though. When you look back on it, and I'm thankful for the times we had.
Yeah.
So Dezi, from your upbringing, I know your story, but there's obviously tons of people who don't. So I want them to, your upbringing, how was your childhood? Let's just start, your childhood, elementary type years.
I mean, obviously, like growing up, you have two parents who understood that they wanted to be different parents, but were doing the best with what they could.
Man.
And they were young too, bro. Like, god dang. Like, I think about it now. Like, I started being a parent at 30. Like, I can't imagine being a parent in like the years that we were really chaotic in our early 20s. Like, I hold space for a lot of that.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of gratitude towards like how hard that must have been to not only just have one kid, but on top of that have three, and then two come on the scene a little bit later. I mean, not a little bit, 12 years later, but still, like, I'm 40. By 40, my parents both had all 5 kids, and we were, like, well-grown by that time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I was 20.
Shoot, your dad was in...
Yeah, I was 20 when my dad was 40.
I was going to say, your dad was 38 when we were in high school.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I kind of think back as a
crazy,
kid. Like, my dad definitely struggled with a ton of substances around that time. And then, the moments that he was sober for... I want to say like 10 plus years of my life were like honestly really great moments. But I think in experiencing that, I also understood that like you can have addictions in a lot of different ways.
Oh
right?
yeah.
When we think about, and that's what you would ask me is like, how would you tell your life story? When I think about addiction, like, yes, there's substances, but I would also challenge that there's a ton of process addictions too.
Yes, sir.
And even for those who are chasing that bag or chasing that opportunity, like
that's an addiction.
You can be addicted to that. And
Absolutely.
that's something that I've struggled with, even, being almost a decade into business. Like I've definitely had moments where I'm like, hustle, 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 and that's all it becomes. And that part is hard. So if I think about like my childhood, I know that my dad has definitely struggled throughout moments in my childhood where we just really had to collectively like take care of one another.
As the siblings.
Right? And that's why I feel like you would have thought that it broke us, a lot of what we've experienced, but like we
bonded,
like galvanized, and we continue to galvanize
to this day.
Yeah, to this day. And I think back in those moments, like, yeah, it was like super tough, and I didn't really have language for it. And it's honestly stuff that I've had to do a ton of therapy around.
Oh, absolutely.
Around just healing and really understanding, like I said, that my dad did the best that he could with what he had. And I've had many a vulnerable conversation with him to this day about, like, hey, the expectation now is that you show up in a healthy way for, like, this next generation of all of our kids. And he doesn't do it perfectly, but that's okay. You know what I mean? I think overall, like, you set some healthy boundaries around it, and you encourage and you do all those things. So if I think back at childhood, it was honestly was really tough, but also really great. Like, I had like best friends that I grew up with. You know what I mean? Like literally, like we were all in the same house, like supporting one another.
Inseparable.
Yeah. And so I think back now and being adults and having kids, I think we get to show up in a really cool way for one another, and I honestly really love that shit. So looking back, like, you would think, like, someone who's experienced a ton of trauma, like, you're like, yeah, you had a tough childhood, but like it was tough, but like I also, like, our bond was tougher, if that makes sense.
Heck yeah, it does, because it's the trauma bond, right?
Yeah, it's
real. I have one with my siblings, and you know us, just so we know you guys. And you said something I wanted to touch on, and it was, I know you behind closed doors. I know your family behind closed doors.
Yeah.
I was a part of the family. But from the outsider looking in, when I first met you, the Abeyta family was one of those white picket fence families. They had the beautiful mom, the handsome father that had a great job. Mom was a stay-at-home wife, Susie homemaker. And you had these beautiful children from the first to the last. They were beautiful people, both, aesthetically and inside. Yeah. So me as an onlooker, I was like, man, like, and my family was crazy. My dad did what your dad did on the inside. My dad just did it on the outside, right? But looking inward from the outside, I was like, man, this is like the Partridge, like the Hispanic Partridge family. Like, what the heck is going on?
I always wondered about that too, because like I think inside of closed doors, when like the family breaks up because of a level of infidelity, like you kind of think about it. It's like, what did people think about us beforehand? But if I'm being transparent, like I didn't care. It was just like internally, like we are all hurting.
We're going through the fire right now.
So I don't care what other people think.
Forget you and forget you.
But now, like, being removed from it, 20 plus years, kind of look back and like, yeah, like I don't know how people perceived us. I truly don't know.
And I would say, my perception was that you guys had it all together, and a smart family, a beautiful family, both inside and out. And I remember, I don't want to jump too far into your story, so I'm gonna segue. When your upbringing was, had its own traumas, as all of ours do, right? Yeah. When did your father and your mother divorce?
So it actually went through, like, I think I was like 19. I don't think we were living together yet, but I was like 19 in the apartment days.
Okay.
Freaking, I hate that place, dude. It was like houses that like I mentioned just in my brain.
Where were you living at?
Remember the freaking Acadia Gardens?
Oh my God, right?
Bro, firebomb that place immediately. Just make sure everyone's safe.
Biohazard, the
God, I
whole
hate that
place.
place. Yeah, I mean that's exactly when it happened. So it happened during my freshman year of college, but everything kind of unraveled senior year.
That's what I thought.
You know what
I
I mean?
thought it
Like,
was your senior year.
Yeah, it was senior year. Like I remember, I think we were at like a passing tournament when like everything happened. You know what I mean? So yeah, I kind of think back on it. Like I can't imagine going through that again. But also, what's really interesting is like there's 5 of us, right? And I think each of us have a different dynamic with one another.
Absolutely.
And my middle brother, David, shout out to Dave.
What up, Dave?
Yeah, like he was kind of like youngest and then became oldest as the 2 older went to college.
Went off to school.
Went off to school, you know what I mean?
He had to take care of Nico and Marisa.
Yeah, and so like I think what's interesting is like each and every one of us have played a role into
and stepped into that role.
Yeah, just played a role into like how to support one another. And so yeah, I kind of think back on those days, and I do really feel for like the families that encounter like brokenness and divorce and things like that. And I'm so removed from it now where I don't know how often I see it, but I know now, like even there's some a family that just recently decided to like break it off, and they got a young kid, and like my heart just breaks, bro, because I'm like, that kid's just not gonna know what that life would be like. And granted, like you do things,
you can still have a good life.
Yeah, you do things in the way that you need to for healthy reasons,
yes.
and like I'm for it. But like there is a level of brokenness still that I still
yes.
feel that I'm like, oh,
yes.
bro, like that sucks.
Yes, and I had to learn that through what I call self-therapy.
Yeah.
Right. You know, you're more in the therapeutic world than I am, but I'm sure it's a thing. Just sitting with myself and saying, you know,
yeah,
kind of me being a man of faith, where I said, I'm going to break that generational curse.
Mm-hmm.
My father's father they've all done the same thing.
Yeah.
And been, you know, womanizers and you know, and had their spouts of infidelity and I what the reason I said initially why I wasn't going to be that person when I finally got married, I always told people I was going to be that person because I know what it's like on the receiving end of the hurt.
Yeah.
Like you made a choice and I had to get hurt from it.
Yeah.
And then my whole life had to change and subsequently have other hurts because of those choices.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to pass on those pains to my children. And, you know, I've made my mistakes. But now where I'm at in my life, it's like I'm going to break that generational curse.
Yeah.
If I have anything to do with it, my power.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to do everything I can to not be that person because I don't want them to hurt. My offspring, my children.
Yeah.
You know, because I've already caused enough hurt in their lives with my addictions and my craziness, and so it's just knowing that I'm gonna, and I see that pattern, and you and I were disconnected, for a long time, and like I told you when we reconnected, brother, there's no apologies, there's no worries, you know, God moves all things and for all reasons, so but I've seen you. I never stopped watching you. I never stopped checking in with my boy through social media, and that's the great thing about social media. You know, I was able to see, oh, my boy has a beautiful little girl, and her curly hair is just like his, and then, you know, years later when you had your son, I was like, oh, he's got a little mini hairy hole, like heck yeah, like dude, this is awesome, you know, like I was able to see these things, and
you have to give some backstory to that dog. You can't just keep going. All right, so for those that are like, damn, that's a weird segue. The original nickname actually came from my homie Kevin Briggs. I have not talked to that dude in so long. I should definitely reach out.
You should check in with
So my full name is Dezi Abeyta. So my boy Kev used to call me Dezi Harry Hole. So my homie Matt heard him call me that during like a basketball practice or a tournament, and then started calling me Harry Hole. So in high school, that was my nickname. So I just want to give you some background because you can't skate over that.
I tried to do it like a stealth bomber and just drop it in there.
Get out of here.
Oh, I did the mini hair. You see how I did that? Yeah, that was one of Desi's nicknames. Was the Harry, the Hole. You know, he was the man. I love this dude. Oh, man, that's so funny.
But yeah, like I honestly, I know different people have different relationships with social media. And mind you, like it's absolutely a way to rot your brain at times, but
It is.
I have
It can
such a
be.
different relationship with it because like I have like two of my siblings have decided to be like, yo, I'm gonna take a break. I'm good. I don't really need it. Whereas the other two, like we just kind of share things back and forth or whatever. But I feel like most people who get into that space are really plagued by consumption, and it goes back to that creation piece where it's like if you're spending a lot of time consuming, like
You could be creating.
you could be creating, and that's where I think honestly,
I'm taking a note myself right now.
yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying. Like this is a perfect example of that. I think a lot of people get lost into like consumption habits and have some mental ailments that come from it. And I feel like it's a really large scale production around like, okay, well, when's the last time you created something? So, dude, thank you for being one of the 12. I mentioned this the other day. I was like, I got challenged. I was like, hey, if you did a community pop up, like who would join? And I was like, damn, I feel like I could call in like 12 to 15 for sure that I know would be there. And I felt myself getting to a point where I'm like, damn, that's not a lot of people. But then I like took a step back and I was like, you know what? I'm very okay with this quality versus quantity piece because, yeah, it would have been dope as hell if I had like 1 million followers. But I've worked with those types of people, and they are no happier than you and I. They are actually very unhappy.
I was going to say they're
and it's like
on the opposite spectrum.
They are on the opposite spectrum. Like they are probably the ones that
Controlled
struggle
by
the
it.
most,
Yep.
and honestly, the people that I'm working with from a professional standpoint because
To
they are
help
not
heal.
doing well. So,
Right.
grass is not always greener.
No.
1,000%.
And that's what I feel, and that's one of those things that through just lived life experiences, that's many things in life,
Yeah.
right? We always feel like, oh, it could be over there, or if I was to do this. And I was taught from the good book. It says, do not despise the small beginnings. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm going to throw this encourager out there real quick because I believe there's something that's going to resonate with somebody is if you've had something like this on your heart. I had it on my heart for 5 years.
This pod?
Podcasting.
I love it.
5 years before I ever did my ministry, before I ever did real estate and got out of barbering full time. The podcast was on mine and Zach, my brother Zach. We were going to essentially, we were living in Ray's garage, getting sober. We both had a little bit of sobriety time underneath our belts. He had a little more than I did. And I said, let's just document our process. We're about to get our first car. We're living in a freaking garage. We used to make jokes with Ray and Serenity, like stepbrothers. We'd run in the room. Can we build bunk beds? And like we would just, we were just being idiots, being who we were. And so it was on my heart back then. And I allowed those little things to come in, the voice of, oh, well, maybe people won't listen, or maybe, that the devilish voice that comes in and tries to be the stealer of all hopes. And so finally I just said, I pulled the trigger. Shout out to Yen for giving me the space to do so. And so I just want to encourage someone that if they have that thing on their heart, Dezi, I know you, I'm going to dive into some of your professional stuff. And you're a go-getter. You would party with me until 5 a.m. and be going to school at 7:30. I remember looking at.
That's exactly why I didn't get into medical school.
And exactly why, hence, he had to make some life decisions about where he and who he was living with.
It's exactly why I was like, I can't live with you guys anymore. Like I can't do it.
Oh, we're doing oxycodone and oxycontin and then cocaine, and we're just.
I was I was more sad. I love you, by the way. Before I say this, I was more sad that I disappointed Ray more than I disappointed you. For those that don't know Ray, if you ever disappointed him, like there's just like a level of I don't know, man. I don't know what it is, but Ray has something.
He has a power to him.
Where like you, I was like, I know I'm gonna disappoint you, like,
and I know he'll bounce back.
Yeah,
from
you
it.
get the fuck over it, dog. You know why. But you, Ray, like, dude, I love you. I'm sorry.
Oh,
this
he has
isn't
that
personal.
puppy dog
He
base.
Really does have
He
that
gives
puppy
you
dog
you
base.
that, and then he's very persuasive in his trying to
So
talk you out of it, right?
That's why you just drop it and just walk away.
Shout out to Ray. We love you, bro. But you were discerning, and you did go on to achieve things that my hat's off to you for, because I
There you
know
go.
I know the path that you've walked in order to get to the areas of achievement. And I always, with the guests that I have on, I like to shine light on the dark areas, because one thing I've learned is there is no such thing as darkness.
Hmm.
All there is the absence of light.
Yeah,
This room will be dark at night, but if I put a flashlight in here, is there any darkness?
that's a bar, by the way.
Right, right. So I've
Mhm.
learned that that's why the word tells us there can be no darkness where there is light.
Yeah,
Right, and if you break it down to a scientific algorithm or an output, it's if there's a dark area, I shine light.
hmm
So I like to shine light on the areas of pain and trauma, and I like to highlight the triumphs and the victories, because it gives somebody else one day your story of trauma will be somebody else's roadmap to success.
yeah,
And I believe that firmly. This is the reason why I started doing what I do, and I've given my story once, and then having people on was because somebody needs to hear that story and be. I know there were stories in my life that I heard that I was like, man, that dude just encouraged me, and if he said he could do it, then I can do it.
yeah,
Then I'm gonna freaking grab that ball, and I'm gonna take. It's in my court,
yeah.
right? I'm gonna shoot my threes, and you miss every shot you don't take, they say. So I'm shooting, right?
Hmm.
So I like to highlight and just shine that super bright light on what you've done and where you're at now. I know you said you have two beautiful children, a beautiful wife. I love her. She has. I've met your wife a handful of times.
Yeah,
She has the same angelic essence that your mother has. She's very soft.
yeah. Super soft.
She and that's a quality. And one thing I've learned just through life is we tend to fall for someone like our parent,
like
or a
parent,
mom,
yeah.
like you're a woman for her
Dude,
father.
facts. My mom told me that all the time. Like, as pissed off as you are with me right now when I was a teenager, you're gonna marry someone just like me. And I remember
No, I'm not.
you kind of go through like your home thing, like you close the door, like no, I freaking
Yeah,
hate
I
you."
won't marry someone like you. You
Yeah.
freaking serious? And
But it's true, man.
And you
Like,
did.
She's very very soft and compassionate.
she has to be to deal with you, bro.
Yeah, dude. Listen. I I am not the type to do this. Like, I don't have a problem. I have many. Like,
It's the self-awareness.
I can be a lot sometimes. Even just as a parent too. Like, she's so like encouraging and soft and like challenging, because like she knows my past. You know what I mean? She knows what I grew up with, and so like it's a constant reminder to like, how do you want to interact with your kids? And I think that piece is just really huge, dude.
It's it just has to jump that question into your mind: is do I want to create different?
Yeah.
Talk about creating.
Yeah.
You want to talk creating? Are you creating a different environment for your children?
Yeah.
Are you creating a different lifestyle for your children?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about monetary things.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about did you take them on 17 vacations last year. Are you creating? And I see you doing it. And there's times that I'm like, damn it, Dezi, you're making me look bad. Like you're doing all these dad things, and I'm like, stop it, super dad. But it's one of those things that I love about you is you're right. You took your upbringing from being the leader of a family, because at one point 18 dads stepped out of the picture. You're the man of the house. And even a little bit before that, if we're being so honest, because he was already on a wayward path of destruction for his own self. And you had to step in to fill those, what were big shoes.
Yeah.
He's a hell of a man. Let's not get it
Yeah.
twisted. He's
Super dope.
He's
person.
faced battles.
Yeah.
And so has mom, because of dad's battles, I would say more so.
Yeah.
But good dude.
Mm-hmm.
At the heart of him,
Super dope.
I've
dude.
sat down with dad and had conversations when I was on my way to hell, gas pedal all the way down, no brakes, and had conversations with dad. So I love the man, and I know he has his own trauma. And what one of my favorite sayings is the truth, bro. Hurt people hurt people. Period. That's just it's the genetic makeup of that disease, if you want to call it that, right? Is you just pass on the traumas and the hurts because you haven't healed.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest encouragement to people, is to dive back into their lives. I had to do it. I know you've had to do it. And what I call peeling the onion layers back.
Yeah.
and you just got to get to the base. For me, drug use was not the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It was a problem, but the problem was deep down in my soul, my hurts, my pains from my childhood, the things I've been through, our crazy life, and some of the choices we made, that I had to get to working those things out.
Yeah.
So you mentioned it, and I feel like a lot of men will dial into this podcast for these first couple episodes because it's been all men, and not that a woman won't relate, but I just want to touch on the fact that you mentioned therapy, and I know there's always been a stigma behind a therapy. Oh, you go to therapy, you must be, are you insane? Are you on drugs? Because you get some therapy, and I don't care if this is therapy.
Mm-hmm.
This is therapy. This is what people pay a therapist for.
Yeah.
To sit down with somebody that you can trust, that is a valid opinion in your life, that's unbiased to the situation at hand, and find somebody, a confidant.
Mm-hmm.
How many days and nights did we spend up on Mount Lemmon? You see, you guys, I got to tell you this backstory. I lost my leg at 18, and Dezi was my best friend. So we even have a special handshake. I'm going to show you guys before we get off because I have to. Dezi was my best friend, and there was nights that I was in despair.
Yeah.
I went from being a pretty solid athlete, having some opportunity to maybe go and wrestle for the military or for some junior colleges and do my thing, and I go to not having a leg overnight, and it was
that's such a weird experience too. I think back on that.
And you were there.
Yeah.
Involved daily.
Yeah.
And Dezi was he's one of those, even though I could sit down we could not talk for 1,000 years, and we could sit down again, and it would be like,
just be chill, yeah.
It was nothing ever, we hadn't skipped a second. But Dezi was one of those dudes that he's one of my loyal lions. He's been in my life, and when he removed himself from my life, it was understandably so. It wasn't like I was living a great life, and no, I was selling drugs, selling guns, moving people. I was a hellion. I wasn't living right, and so I don't in any way ever hold that against you. I even told you when we talked, I don't hold that, brother. I understand it, and being of a mature mindset, I get it. But knowing all that, the fact that you have traveled this road of pain and of trauma and of hurts, you still became a successful man. You're still a good father. You're not absentee. You're a great husband.
Yeah.
You're working towards all these things. So I commend you for those things, and I say that to jump into you as a man. You're now I would say you're a renowned nutritionist. You have folks from all over the country that call you for your advice and for some of your studious research for such and such, such and such, such and such. And that's a very commendable thing that you've made out of yourself, and on top of being a husband and a father and these other things, a brother, a son, right? And I did lose my train of thought, but I'm going to get it back. That's how it happens. And with where you're at now and the obstacles you faced, and knowing now what you didn't know then, what's a piece of advice that you would give a young man? Because my thing is the youth, bro.
Yeah.
I think we say it as a cliche, and one thing I've learned is it's cliche because it's always true.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The youth is our future.
Yeah.
And more so than anything, I want to reach that kid.
Yeah.
That 16, 17-year-old kid that's doing the stupid stuff we used to do, and just tell him, hey, bro, I'm not going to tell you how to live.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you, if you keep doing this, this, and this is where you're going to end up.
Yeah.
And if you do this, this, and this, then there's the other side of the coin, right?
Yeah.
So what's that, given your life in a whole, what's that piece of advice, the sound encouragement that you would give to somebody who says, man, I feel like I've been through a lot of these same things, and how did he keep going?
Honestly, bro, as you were talking about therapy and things like that. Yep. And I think, obviously mental health therapy and seeing a professional, 1,000%, if I'm working with someone, I will ask them, what are your thoughts on therapy? Because I like to think of having multiple performance coaches as everyone needs it from a human performance perspective, right?
Right.
So honestly, bro, to answer your question, I only came up with this maybe 2 weeks ago. Maybe. right, this is 40 years into the game type of thing. Like I finally like understood like why I've been doing all these things. So like, thank you for the accolades.
Yeah, of course, they're deserved.
Yeah, but like I finally came to this. So a little bit of background. So I'm a journalist at Men's Health Magazine, right? I'm a published author. I do all these things. And so like I've been going to, and my wife loves to read, loves fiction.
Oh,
So
yeah,
like
yeah,
we've been
yeah.
like reading together, right? And so we recently just went to this like artist or this author reading and just like Q&A. And I had asked him, I was like, hey, how do you get to a point where like you just continue writing even though like you feel like your writing sucks? And I was telling him, I was like, I write all the time. Like I always have deadlines. Like but it's safe writing to me. Like there's a box. Like I don't do a lot of creative writing because like there's some shit that happened in college where like I just like had like some really tough like mentors that like I stopped writing because I was like I suck. Like my mentors feel like I suck. I'm gonna stop doing this, right? So I ended up buying into an art community, and the person that's running it is an opera singer out of New York City. And so she's been going through like the villain architecture of creativity. And so like an example of that was like, this is why Batman's not a superhero, right? Because he just lives his traumas. He doesn't actually move through them, right? There's more.
Okay.
She goes through like, this is why Drake took such an L, because Kendrick acted as his villain and understood all of the things that like Drake was struggling with. So like there's like shit like that, right? And so part of the work has been going through your own shadow work. And I literally just came up with this 2 weeks ago. I was on the airplane, like I'm like sobbing as I'm journaling.
And you've always been a journaler.
Yeah, I've always been a journaler. So I was like sobbing as I was journaling because I was like, damn, like I get it now. So to me, like my shadow, like I thought it was like, as we do this work, I thought it was going to be something that sort of just like came through like the walls and was like, I'm your shadow.
Revelation.
Like, yeah, exactly. It wasn't that. Like my shadow, from what I understood, was like my little kid who saw what he saw and just felt powerless. And so from that moment, I've been like doing all these dope things in my life to try to appear big and strong. Like I'm doing dope things. And so I finally, through this work, was like, damn, I don't need to be big for anyone anymore. Like I can be mediocre in the things that I do. Like I can just create and just be very cool with the artistic expression around doing those things. So fast forward to now, like I was thinking about it. So a little bit of background for those that don't know, you know this. So for 2.5 years, I was working at Red Bull as their dietitian. So I got the chance to work with their athletes, their talent, their dancers, was traveling the world, traveling the U.S., like doing such dope things. Sick work, yes. Dude. And I tell people, I ended up getting like corporate Survivor blindsided. And so I got let go and found out that my team, who I thought were my friends, like had a hand in it. You know what I mean? So it changed the trajectory of my family's life financially. It changed everything.
Yeah.
And I had to go back in my business, a year ago. And so I ran into these same team members that I thought were friends at an event 2 weeks ago. I was not prepared for it.
That's
and
the
dude,
best
it was so like,
because had you been prepared for it, you might have had an already dialed up response.
Yeah, bro.
Or reaction.
Like, so I was there on site for a journalism gig with Men's Health Magazine, global brand, global media network, like doing something really cool. And the whole time over this past year, I was like, I'm gonna just go do dope things to show them that they made a mistake.
To
prove them, right? It's like super petty, like very Michael Jordan-esque. And that was when I took a personal type of thing. And so when they saw me,
you're human.
Yeah. So when they saw me, they were so excited to see me, embraced me, hugged me, asked me how I was. And I remember leaving that moment, going back to my hotel room, and I just like sit down and I'm like, what the fuck? They are so unbothered. Like they just moved on. They're not thinking about like, hey, yo, we made a mistake or like we missed the work that you did. Like nothing. They were just like, we are so happy to see you. And I was like, I've been doing all of these dope things to show them and to show myself that I'm enough. Like, oh my God. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm just going to go do things because I enjoy them. So again, this has been very recent. This has been 2 weeks
What a
of me just
beautiful
like,
revelation.
yeah, going out and being like, I'm going to do this because I feel called to it. So if I want to give any advice to anyone who is like trying to figure out their shit, like, bro, like, my God, go be mediocre in something that is really uncomfortable. I don't care if it's learning a new fucking language. I don't care if it's in this creator economy, like starting a podcast. Like honestly, like it's not even about you're going to make it. It goes back to like what is something that you can go out and do and like truly express yourself.
Satisfy your soul.
Dude, satisfy your soul. God damn, like there's so much about creating that is just so important that even now as I work with athletes, artists on the nutrition and performance side, oh my God, bro. I was literally on with a client the other day, and like most of the people come to me for like health, performance, body composition, all those things. And like we're like 4 or 5 sessions in, and I'm getting to know her a little bit more. And she's talking about how like she used to have this body that she felt confident in. I was like, okay, well, what was going on around that time? She's like, well, I was playing shows. I was in an art community. Like it was just like pure expression. And I was like, well, when's the last time that you picked up a guitar? She's like 10 years. I was like, chill. This is going to sound like really ridiculous. This is your dietitian saying this to you. But like, honestly, like, you know what you need to hit on the performance side.
Go pick up that guitar.
Go pick up a guitar once a week. Like, go do that.
Satisfy your soul.
And it goes back to just like the whole piece around like when someone is in their like aura, when someone is in just lock the fuck in, like they are creating. And I can't say enough good things. So like if someone is like, yo, what should I be doing? Like go fucking create. Go express yourself. Something. It's beyond powerful.
Man, and that I'm getting a word right now is one thing you've always done is journaled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I've seen you journal. I've seen you journal drunk. I've seen you journal high. I've seen you journal full stomach, no stomach, nothing in your stomach. Like you
just writing raps.
We would write music, right? We would just be. But you were always a journaler, and that's creating.
Yeah.
Sitting down and just putting your thoughts, and I need to get better at that. So right now I'm getting that word for myself is to even journaling is creating, right? I'm creating memories of my thoughts. And just a direction to take my thoughts. Mm-hmm. My wife is a huge journaler, and I'm not. You know, I'm a text-to-speech guy, and I'm going to do a voice memo because I got a lot to say, right?
Which, honestly, this is a great medium for you.
Right.
Because it's like just spoken word, if you will.
It's exactly what I look at it as, right? We're just being able to speak that.
Yeah. And you're a yapper.
Yes. I was thinking, you know what? I was thinking about it last night, and I said, you know, Mom and Dad, my dad called me recently, and, you know, Pops is a cool dude. He's rad. And he said, hey, I met this dude at the lake. He's got this $150,000 boat he just bought, and he said he did it all off podcasting. He's like, and he said, if I know one person that can kind of gauge people's attention and keep people's attention and is a good talker, that you start there. So he's like, I'm calling you, and I'm going to, you know, but it's darn it, lost my train. Where was I at, Dezi?
You're talking about your dad, how cool he is. You're talking about this dude that just bought a boat from podcasting.
There was a reason right before
that. You're a yapper. Like we were talking about you being a yapper.
So yes, it was, hey, Mom and Dad, all that yapping in class and all that, always being the most talkative student and being the class clown, dude, it might pay off. You know, it might give me an avenue to create a space for people. And it was just funny how I was like, man, it can come full circle. Hey, Mom and Dad, all those notes are now worthwhile because your son's, you know, constantly using his voice to encourage, you know, try to encourage folks and just be that light in the world.
All those times getting sent out of class.
All the times, bro, that my dad had to pull up to the school. And
bro, I tell people I stayed in detention.
I think I just had a constant desk and
suspension. A lot of time.
They get to the point where they just kicked me out, bro. They were like, it's easier not to deal with it.
I only got suspended once. That was when we jacked shit at Disney.
Oh my God, dude!
Shout out to Winnie, dude. What's up, bro? I got to see him last time I was in Portland. It was actually really great to see him.
What'd you do?
Chris Winston.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, what up, Winnie?
Yeah.
How are you, bro?
Dude.
I see him all the time, and him and his dog and his woodworking.
Yeah.
He's a dude that I would love to. I'd actually love to do like a.
He would be great.
Maybe like a Zoom with him, He's been through some stuff with the
Yeah.
military,
Yeah,
and
he would be great.
he just seems like without being a nomad, he has like a nomadic soul.
He's just eclectic, bro. Like
Yes, that's
he's a part of a
eccentric,
bicycle, not bike
No,
gang. He's part of a bicycle community,
like
and
beach
gang.
cruisers. Like,
1,000%. I'm not even gonna try to like make this shit up. I guarantee that motherfucker has a cut, like has a jacket, a bicycle jacket. This dude, one of the most eclectic people. That dude creates. That's a perfect example of an artist. Like that dude.
Dude, remember
that dude
his car
creates.
in high school?
It had cow embroidery on the inside, and remember it had fucking lights.
It had lights and zebra, and then he had the
This
megaphone.
was a Toyota Corolla.
It was like it was an older Toyota Corolla at the
Dude.
time. We were in high school in 05. It was like a 97
yeah.
Corolla
No.
with lights all on the headliner like people do now. He had, I want to say it was cow
It was cow
or zebra. One of the
Yeah,
two.
it was cow.
Wasn't it cow and zebra? I don't know. He did some crazy stuff, and then he had the little megaphone. Remember, he could talk through the car. Winnie, what's up, bro? I'm gonna have to tag him when I release this for
Yeah.
the shout out. But it's create, and I received that message today, because I know I had my own reluctancy and my own inhibitions to follow my dream, and I believe for me it was a God-given thing. God said, Ryan, somebody needs to hear not only your big, foolish, crazy self, but others. Right,
Bro, sometimes like I did this. I'm so glad you're doing this because I did the same thing. On my birthday in 2019, I was like, my greatest gift today is like I downloaded so many PDFs. I purchased courses. I went to an in-person event of like how to start a podcast. Like I did so much, and then I think going out and taking messy action, I think, is one of the greatest gifts that I've ever given myself. And so like on that birthday, I was like, I'm gonna record the first episode, and it was actually Tyler Lopez, his like in-home podcast studio. And so when I saw how
shout out to Tyler. What up, Ty?
What up, Ty? When I found out like how easy it was to just go out and do, like I just started, honestly, got myself a mic and just like went at it. And I think there's a lot of vulnerability and strength in just going out and not really knowing or understanding that success is not guaranteed. But then just doing this right here, I think, is a massive success for you. So, like, dude, I'm really, really happy that you're doing this.
I appreciate it, brother. And it means a lot because I know I did reach out to you.
Yeah.
Seeing that you have, and I don't go by the world standards of success, but I see that you have success in this arena.
Yeah.
And so one thing I've learned is I got to talk to the man that's in the arena, not the crowd.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if we were to go to the old gladiator games, it's like I don't want to talk to the guys that are cheering for the gladiators to kill each other. I need to talk to the gladiators if I want to learn how to survive.
Dude, facts.
Right. So it's talking to the man in the arena. So I hit you up, and even then, I allowed, whether it was the tactics of the enemy or my own mind at times, right? Because our mindset, I've always told people, especially since I lost my leg and I sat in a hospital room for so long, that the mind is the worst place for any human to be trapped.
Dude.
Worst place.
Especially with injury. I mean, you see this a lot on the athlete side.
Oh, yeah.
You want to see how a person goes into their own mental skills, mental performance. Let that motherfucker get injured.
Yeah.
Like, I remember seeing you in the bed. And you're like, Dez, like, someone's on my leg. I'm like, dog.
So that's a true
That's
story,
what I learned
guys.
about phantom pain, which 18-year-old at the time, like, what the fuck?
What are you talking about,
I was like, dog, your leg is gone.
So this is a true story. He came to visit me.
It's like, bro, your leg doesn't get. This person's on my leg.
I told him that somebody was sitting on my leg.
It's like, dog.
Because of the pressure of the amputation.
Like,
but Dezi
gone,
kept
bro.
it real, and he said, "Hey, bro, your leg's gone.
Yeah.
Like, your leg is no longer there." And that's one of those genuineness. The genuine qualities about you that I appreciate, and that's why you were one. It really is because I don't want someone to sugarcoat, not somebody that I hold so close to me.
Yeah.
That's like, if you're my confidant, I need somebody that's going to keep it real.
Yeah.
And so many times I think in life people want to buddy up with those who will, oh, it's okay, or oh, you can keep being the person. You need people in your life who are going to challenge you.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be where you're at if you didn't have.
Yeah.
Even, and I believe everything happens for a reason. So that obstacle that you faced with the Red Bull stuff,
Yeah.
That's God's all working all that out.
Yeah.
In the essence of He has somewhere for you to be. So I'm a firm believer when one door closes,
Yeah.
there's another door opening, right?
Yeah.
And we just don't see it. And I believe that for you and for your career.
Yeah.
And it's just been it's been awesome, bro, to see you, like I said, from the shadows, in essence, even when I was in my mess, like to see my boy that I hold near and dear to my heart. Like he's doing things that he said he was going to do. He's writing. He wanted to be a children's author, but he's writing.
Yeah.
And that's still obtainable.
Yeah.
I'm going to speak that life into you right now. That's still
it's in the mix, dude.
It's still an obtainable goal.
Yeah.
And any of your hopes and dreams are still right there.
Yeah.
You know, and the fact that you've persevered through what I know. Like I said, most people that, let's say, that went to high school with us that will happen to click on and see this will think like I thought, man, that was like the perfect family. And just to see, and not only just your own familial tragedies and traumas, but then what you faced as an adult and just being an adult and trying to figure out. I know there's a lot of college-age kids that are going to watch and be like, Dezi was going to school while partying, and he had to make a choice.
Yeah.
You know, he had to be mature and say, you know, I'm going to step out of this immature adolescent mind frame.
Yeah.
It was fun. We partied, guys, and we've now done it for 2 years straight. And I'm 50 or I forget how much you came to me and told me how much debt you were in from school.
Yeah.
100,000 or something crazy,
Dude,
bro.
still paying that shit off.
And you made a choice.
Yeah.
And that was just, I commend you because that led to where you're at.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's every choice we make today will lead to a decision tomorrow or an outcome tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I commend you for the perseverance of your life because I've seen, I was involved in so much of it that I've seen just, I used to tell people that boy, he's little, but that boy, he's going to smack you in the mouth. Put some football pads on, and I'm telling you, right, he's put me on my butt. So I'm trying to tell you, like that, he's an explosive little package right there. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like you've met that tenacity with everything in life.
Yeah.
And it I not very well could be. I believe that comes from obviously many things, but it's through having to persevere through.
Yeah.
So much that it was like I gotta hit that door. I gotta hit that thing. I gotta make sure I do it. And I commend you for that. So you're gonna go far just in doing what you do. I know God's gonna bless the path that you're on and your children, your wife. Many blessings to them. And I just thank you, bro, for sitting in this space with me because it really means a lot to me.
Dude, this is dope, man. I really love this setup right now.
It could be where you're doing one of yours. But it's been. Not to discount any of the previous shows I've done.
Yeah, I'm way better than you
guys. But it's just one of those that this dude has been such a monumental piece of my life.
Yeah,
and you were one of those dudes. You opened my mind. You were the one friend. If I had to take one friend out of the puzzle pieces and say who broadened your horizons with thinking, with music, with eclection in a whole.
Yeah. You
were that person. And so I just keep being that person. Keep being that light wherever you go, just to put people on to new thoughts and new ways of thinking, because ultimately that's what life is. We don't stop thinking, don't stop dreaming, don't stop having a goal and chasing that goal, because it sounds cliche, but again, it's cliche because it's always true.
Yeah.
You're your own worst enemy. Start that. You just heard it from Dezi himself. You're hearing it from me. I'm 40 years old and I just got into a new career.
Yeah.
I've been cutting hair for 20 years and just jumped into real estate.
Yeah.
Because what some call higher power, my God said, hey, you want to be able to open a rehab home? A rehab facility? You're not going to be able to do it off cutting hair.
Yeah.
So you need to get to a position where you can either A, make the money, or B, meet the people with money that want to invest into your plan.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I'm going to be the risk taker. I'm a damn good barber. I can cut hair.
Yeah.
I'm good at what I do. And that's not to toot my own horn, but it's to know that I'm good at what I do. And it's to encourage somebody else. I met a dude in rehab that was 77 years old going to culinary school.
I love that.
Dude, freaking run it, bro.
I love that.
You're going to be that generational person in your family's life that your grandkids look at and say, well, Grandpa did it at 77. Why can't I do it at 35? Yeah. So I just encourage folks to that dream you've had, that goal you've had in your heart that you feel was placed there, to run after it and not to stop, because, there's so many things that have tried to come in place. I know of me doing this. I know of your own circumstances and things that have come at you that try to stop and delay things from happening. And ultimately, that's the plan. Yeah. And so you got to stick on that plan and just not be afraid. I think it's fear. It cripples us, right? Yeah. All humans, all animalistic creatures fear the unknown, right? That's why dark places scare people. Yeah. It's unknown. Yeah. Jump into it. And when you get into that dark place, you're going to find out your light's going to open up that darkness, and you're going to see this is a really beautiful place. Yeah. Right? So you've heard it from Dezi, you've heard it from me, to encourage you just to jump into that creative space. You have a story, you have knowledge, life knowledge that somebody else needs to hear, and encourage people. Man, that's what I'm going to leave you guys with before I really leave you is, and Dezi, I know he's going to shine light on this because he's one of these people, but man, encourage somebody. It doesn't cost you a single thing to encourage somebody throughout your day. Yeah. A coworker, your children, a stranger. I've had complete strangers tell me, bro, when you said that to me, it really lifted my spirits because I was in a dark, dark place, but you told me that I was awesome and that I was loved. Yeah. And we just don't know what that's going to do for someone else's life. So just be an encourager. There's enough darkness, there's enough ugly and gloom in the world. Man, be a builder that's creating, right? When I tell you, hey, I see your head down at the store and I don't know you, and I'm, hey, bud, it's a beautiful day. You're an awesome dude, and everything's going to be all right. Yeah. I'm creating, I'm building in you the man that, that needed reassurance. Yeah. So just, that's my thing that I like to leave, folks with. Would you like to shine light on that before I outro us?
No, man. Like I said, I think this is the purest form of expression right now, is being able to do that. And I think when you can be in community with people that you are connected to and build that connection. I mean, we're all just vessels of connection.
Yes.
That's what we are.
We're made for connection.
This is dope as hell, man. Congrats.
Man, I appreciate it, for real. And just want to, once again, take my hat off to you, bro. Yeah. Because the man you have become is an honorable, it's a man that I still call you my best friend. I love you, bro. There's nothing that's ever changed that. You have been this dude used to drive me, that's where I was going at. You used to drive me up to Mount Lemon at 2 a.m. if I'd call him. We'd go up there and we'd smoke a little something and just talk about life. And I had just lost my leg, and my thoughts were, will I ever be lovable? Will I ever be a man? Will I be? And this was the dude that I would take, and he's my age. And I would take you've always been very philosophical. It's very Socrates-esque. And I appreciate that about you, because I've been able to bounce these hard questions and life problems off of you, and so I thank you for not only that time of our lives.
We got to get our house with the drawbridge, remember?
I was just telling somebody this 2 days ago. I
get tired of you. It's like, drawbridge is coming up.
we always
sick
said
of you right now.
We were going to build 2 houses on Mount Lemon here in beautiful Tucson, Arizona. That's where we're recording from. And we were going to build a drawbridge in between the houses, so when usually it was me that pissed Dezi off. If I'm going to keep it so real.
No, I want control of the drawbridge, because you pissed me off. Dude, you're done for the day.
We were going to have a bridge that, no longer allowed at our houses to sector between the two. I was just telling somebody this yesterday.
It's like, dude, I'm so sick of you. I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Drawbridge is coming up.
I hate you. I love you. Bye. That was our relationship, but it's an honor to share this space with you today, bro. Yeah, and again, I just pray blessings over what you're doing, and I know you're gonna go incredible places, bro. And I'm glad we were able to reconnect. And unfortunately, it was a tragedy, but that's how we know. Yeah. There's always a silver lining. There's always good to be seen out of the ugly. Yeah. We were at a friend's funeral. Yeah. Rest in peace to Jimmy. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. Jimmy,
RP, buddy.
One of the baddest high school quarterbacks, bro. That dude was a bad mamma jamma, and he was a friend. Yeah. And he got lost, and rest in peace to him. But that moment of gloom and sadness brought us back together to where we were in reconnection with one another. Yeah. And there's always some beauty to be seen in the darkness. So I thank you, brother. And again, I cannot express enough how awesome sharing life with you has been, and just to be able to watch
it's been fun, man.
Just be able to watch you and your growth, bro, has been nothing shy of awesome, to say the least, bro. So keep rocking, keep doing what you're doing. And to those that are out there watching, you heard it from Dezi. He told you, go create. And I know the first comment we're going to get, well, I'm not a creative person.
Get over it.
Guess why you're not creative? Because you just put that boundary on yourself. Yeah. You know, and it's like, I want to speak this one word into you because I was told to speak it to you. And it's I don't know if you're still there. Mm-hmm. But when you said that there was these mentors in college mm-hmm. that had got you off that route. Yeah. I have a message that I'm going to preach one day, and it's called Who is They? Yeah. Who is they that told you that? Yeah. Well, first of all, who's the source? Mm-hmm. And why are you giving them that power? Yeah. Because you have mm-hmm. all dunamis and exousias power. You have ultimate power. Yeah. So that's to you and to any of our watchers, and I know I have to do that in my own personal life, who told me I was going to amount to nothing, who told me I was going to be just like my father, who told me I was going to – I rebuked those things. Mm-hmm. Go out and create. If you think you can't, guess what? I was watching my mentor in real estate, who is a multi-million-dollar producer, annually. He says, if you look at my YouTube videos now versus 7 years ago when I started, mm-hmm. obviously I've grown. Yeah. But I started doing it. Yep. That's why I got to here. I tell people when they reach out to me in recovery world, well, Ryan, how, I'm almost 4 years clean, praise God. And they ask me, well, how'd you do? I guess what, I got 1 day in. Yeah. Then I got 2 days in. Mm-hmm. And then I got 3, and then 8, so on and so forth, right? So it's starting. I always say the hardest step to anything is the first one. Yeah. Do it. Yep. And then you'll find out. You'll be 250 podcast episodes in, or you'll be 250 paintings in, or you'll be 250 car rebuilds in, and you're like, man. Mm-hmm. I just had my buddy, last thing I had, he called me yesterday, and I've been struggling with my real estate, because I divvy my I divvy my space. I got a lot of things going on with the ministry and my own family and cutting hair part-time, and he said, I just want to edify you, bro. I just wanted to tell you that the Lord told me to tell you, you're just starting out. Mm-hmm. You're going to look back on this in 10 years and be like, man, my perseverance and my tenacity is what, and you're going to be thankful. He said, but just keep pushing because it's on the break. You're right there to where you're going to step into that new season that God has for you. So it's just encourage folks just to take the first step. Yeah. Because you what's the old saying? You miss 100 shots. Or you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Yep. That's period. That's with anything in life. So if you don't have dreams and goals, man, acquire some. Think on how you want to, where you want your life to be and how you want to impact people. That's one of my big things. I want to impact people. I want to be a positive influence in those people around me's lives. So think about something like that and find a niche, find an outlet. Dezi's thing, like he said, we play ball. It was an outlet, mm-hmm. right? Yeah. Find an outlet that you can create and that you can become all you were. It's cliche again, the old Army saying, be all you were meant to be. But we're all meant to be something, and we all have a purpose inside of us. So find out what your purpose is and just dive into it. Dezi just said it took up until 2 weeks ago.
Dude, 2 weeks, yeah.
Dezi's one of the, like I said he's one of the most philosophical dudes I know. He's one of the most intricate thinking people I know. And I know a lot of people and a lot of very wise people. But until 2 weeks. Yeah. To put down that I don't give a crap. Yeah. What you think, mm-hmm. what's your thoughts of me, my work, or I'm a good person. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm doing the righteous thing, and therefore I'm going to show up. Forget everybody. Yeah. I don't care at this point. That's where I'm at in my life. I've gotten to a point where I tell people I don't care. Mm-hmm. I don't care what they think. Yeah. I've gone my whole life being a people pleaser, trying to be the one that people, man, forget it. Yeah. Throw it in the garbage. I'm pleasing this person, that person, and the people that I love. Yeah. And other than that, your opinion, I'm sorry to tell you, but I'm not sorry to tell you. Yeah. If I value your opinion, I'll receive it. Mm-hmm. And if you're someone that who are they? Who was they that said that? Yeah. Miss me with that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. It's true. You're not in the arena, homie. Yeah. I had to tell my sister who I love, and I love her. Shout out to Melissa. She's been one of my staples in my life. One time she said, hey, should you be recording when you're out there in the desert? I said, I've been out there for 5 months, every other weekend in 110-degree weather. I recorded I put out one video so that way my sponsors, the people that donate food and clothes and stuff, know, okay, he's actually out there. Mm-hmm. I said, but no offense, sis, but as you sit on the sideline and make this phone call, come jump into the arena. Yeah. come go through what I go through. And I don't do things. The Bible tells me in Matthew to do all that I do to glorify the Lord unto and before men, right? So when I put out that content, it's not to, oh, hey, look at us. I've been out there for 5 months already, never putting out a video. But it's the man in the arena. When you want to come, I tell people I pull up these cowboy bootstraps and I get out there. So if you're not out there, so for those in your life that are talking and speaking those things upon you, man, if you're not in this arena, homie, go catch a sideline seat. And actually pay for that sideline seat, and I don't want to hear your opinion. Now, once you come jump down on this quarter in the arena, then we can have that conversation. So don't take those people's opinions, and I know I've done it in my life. Oh, that person, they what they said held so much weight. Forget that, right? It's hard. We used to be taught. I was just told this last night. We used to get taught that sticks and stones may break our bones, but words will never hurt us. Opposite. Words will hurt you far more than any physical injury will ever hurt you. Those things that you have been told by somebody in your life that were, demeaning to your character, demeaning to your purpose in life, right? That can hold a lot more weight than that injury you had back in football. You forgot all about that injury, but you still carried that thing that very important coach or that very important person in your life told you. It's shed those freaking things, man. They don't matter to us when we start living in I don't care. What people think. So I just want to encourage folks not to care what people think and to jump out on that freaking ledge, as Dezi said it. I love it because I'm receiving this today. Like, this was something that, and I always do this, it's something that's for the viewers, and I leave here like, all right, Lord, or all right, Dezi, I hear you, bro. I got to create. And so I thank you for imparting us with that wisdom, bro. And again, I cannot tell you enough and express to you how much your friendship has meant to me, how much you have meant to me as a person, and how much I honor you. And I thank God for placing a friend like you in my life. It's like if I was invited on someone's podcast, which I believe actually last podcast I was invited on, I mentioned you. It was one of those questions somebody like I had for you that somebody had for me, like who was those monumental people in your life, and Harry Hole got mentioned, and I think I even mentioned Harry Hole. I think I really did. Like, you might be infamous in some Pakistani country, bro, that seen that interview, because I mean, you've been that person, and so all my heart to you, bro, and just keep trucking, keep doing what you're doing, and shining your light wherever you go, because it's seen and it's bright, and people need to see it. So keep doing what you're doing, brother. Thank you for sharing this space with me today. And we'll have you back on, hopefully.
Dude, let me know.
All right, y'all. So before I outro y'all for real, just highlight what he said, man.
35 minutes later.
Sit down. Yeah, for real. And the problem is, this is not an editing problem, okay? is take what he said, man. For real. I've learned in my life that when I hear those things, I'm like, oh, yeah, it sounds good, and I just put it on the shelf. Well, that's valuable information, but the only way for me to be successful is to apply that valuable information. So, I know somebody that's going to watch this is like, man, I've been wanting to make a song. I just did that last year. I made my first song this year. And I tell people, like, do it. Why not? Create something. So I love that, bro. And that's just what y'all need to do is create. So I appreciate y'all not only having Dezi here today, but I appreciate y'all sitting space with us and taking this time just to learn more about Dez. And honestly, it's not just about Dez. That's about life, right? The tenacity of perseverance and just determination, guts. Jump out and just start doing something, and your past does not define you, and what you've been through does not ultimately identify you with what you are, right? You can create and make a new life for yourself. So I thank you guys for sitting in this space with us and just being here. So no matter the season you're in, the story you have is not over. Redemption is possible for each and every one of you. I just want to encourage you to love yourself, love the people around you, and look for a brighter day. We love you guys. Thank you for joining us on the Redemption Road. We're going to see you guys next time.